ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च नमो नमः। सर्वमित्रनिधि गौरं सर्वं सुरे गौरेण प्रतितं रस्य भजनं गौरं सर्वं हरे गौरस्ति कृपालुरात्रिनवरौ गौरस्य भृत्यस्य भवाम् गौरवान् गौरप्रभु नित्यानन्दं नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानन्दप्रदायिने कलो कल्मषनाशाय श्रीजानवापते नमः। जयतां सुतपङ्गुर् मम मन्दमतिर्गति सर्वस्पदाम्भुजौ श्रीराधा मदन भक्त्या विहीनाय पराधलक्ष्ये क्षिप्तस्य कामादितरङ्गम् कृपामयि वन्दे नमस्ते श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। बोलो हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम। रेज योर हैंड। यस। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे। Not everyone is doing this. Hands up. What? Everything is freeze or what? Yes. Lavangamanjari, Germany. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Everyone did? Yes. Hari Bol. Shishi Bhajan Reste by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. In this auspicious month, Kartik month, taking shelter of our acharyas, especially Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how wonderfully he is explaining about Ashtayam Bhajan. So much Hari Katha is going on around the world. So much Hari Katha. So many preachers, speakers from different. It's like a festival. Huh? Such wonderful festival is going on. Kartik month, Hari Katha. So in that festival, we are also adding on some topic. That's the Bhajan Dasi. How wonderfully Shri Bhakti Thakur explaining about Nam Tattva. The first yam is Shraddha. Okay. Shraddha. To achieve the goal, the sadhe. That sadhe, that goal is Nishant Leela. Nishant Leela. Early morning, 3:30 to 6 a.m. Considered as very, very important. How to enter into the Nishant Leela? Then the process of bhajan. That's the secret. Srila Bhakti Thakur is revealing that secret in this great book, Shri Bhajan Raise. So, what we are hearing since 2-3 days, the glories of Nam. because Shinam Prabhu means chanting Harinam is the best amongst all other sadhans. Nothing can be compared to Nam. नाम बिना किछु नहीं यार 14 भुवन माझे. Srila Bhakti Thakur is writing this in his song. In this 14 planetary system, there is nothing equal to Nam. Only Krishna is equal to his name. No other opulence, no other position, no other bliss, nothing. Nam. Nam bina kichu nahi yaar. There's nothing beyond the Nam, the glories of Nam. And we heard yesterday, no other need of any other atonement. There is no need of any other atonement. If anyone have taken shelter of chanting Harinam, that's all. There is no need for any other atonement. Chanting itself is the best atonement for asking forgiveness for any offenses, except Vaishnava Pada. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, oh, when you read this book or hear this book, I get so much appreciation, or I can say, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what kind of personality? How he's designing this book? How he compiling this? It's so nicely giving all the quotations from different shastras, from different sources, and like stringing a garland. So the first chapter only speak about the glories of Harinam, because Nam is sadhan and Nam is sadhe. That means Nam is practice and Nam is perfection. When I say Nam, you understand name, holy name. Is sadhan, practice, and holy name is also sadhe, the perfection. We need perfection in chanting holy name. Therefore, I tell many times, don't think just chanting 16 rounds a day is enough. 16 round is foundation. Means that the beginning point, not the ending point. We think chanting 16 round is the ending, like it's enough. No, chanting 16 round is beginning, not ending point. It begins from there. The chanting starts from chanting 16 rounds. So it's just a matter of practice. Remember, I told few days back, the very first time we hold it beads in our hand, chanting one round was like, ooh, climbing on a mountain. More hard than climbing on a mountain. Chanting one round means running 10 miles. More hard than running 10 miles. So hard. But after practicing for some years, one round goes so fast. Without any endeavors, so easy. Because we are focused only on 16 rounds and we are not attempting for something more than that. Our mind setup gets stuck in that 16 rounds, that frame. But gradually we have to progress. Gradually, from 16 to 20 for some days. Then you will find 16 went so fast. Yeah, gradually, 2 months, take your time, 2 months, 3 months, from 16 to 20. Then from 20 to 25. Then from 25 to 30. Then from 30 to 35. Then 40. Then 50. Then 60. Then 80. Then 100 rounds. Then 150 rounds. Whole day. Oh, wish that can happen to us. By the mercy of Harinam Prabhu, wish it can happen that we are day and night, we are just chanting Harinam. Day and night. You see, then becomes very easy. Then we look 16 rounds, oh, that's just us. Very small and went so fast. Understand? Just you have to develop your immune. When immune is strong, the immune of chanting Harinam. So, no other atonement is required. Harinam itself is everything. Even our dog eater get purified and become so glorious worldwide by chanting and taking shelter of Harinam. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur further saying, text 5, the superiority of Kirtan is described in Vaishnav Chintamani, Hari Bhakti Vilas. Now another quotation. So that means whatever he's saying is not just saying with his mind, out of his mind. All his words are backed by some reference from different Puranas and scriptures. Vaishnav Chintamani means Hari Bhakti Vilas, very important book which gives account of rules and regulations to follow. So Hari Bhakti Vilas says, Agachit Smaranam Vishnor Bhavaya Sena Sadhet Oshtu Spandan Matrena Kirtanam tu Tato Varam. What's the meaning? Sins are destroyed. Listen, if you very smartly go deep into what we are hearing and reading, we see since 2-3 classes what we are hearing is right from the beginning Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is making us aware of first point, the first step, how to get rid of our sins, how to do our atonement. There's a purifying process is going on. Purifying process. That's what I said. Naam, Hari Naam is sadhan, is practice. But it's not only practice. Hari Naam is also perfection, sadhe. Not that after getting perfection, no one chant Hari Naam. Everyone chants Hari Naam. Even in Golok Vrindavan, everyone chanting Hare Krishna. Directly Radha Krishna. Glorifying Radha Krishna. So that's also perfection. Sins are destroyed with great effort by remembering Vishnu. Sins are destroyed with great effort. It takes so much effort to remember Vishnu. Remember means meditating on Vishnu. Especially in this busy schedule and in this crazy busy world. But by chanting his name, they are very easily destroyed. Chanting what? By chanting Hari Nam, by chanting holy name, those sins which needs great effort to destroy sins, just by chanting, they are easily destroyed. But again, we are not supposed to chant Hari Nam only for the sake of getting rid of sins. We are minimizing the glories of Hari Nam. That minimizing the glories. We are chanting Hari Nam to get entrance into that service, the service domain of divine couple Radha Krishna. That's the goal. But the secondary result, or I can say secondary result of Hari Nam, is just sins get destroyed. Okay. But the goal is to attain that loving service. And who can provide that goal? Only Hari Nam. Nothing else. No other means. Kirtan is performed simply by using the lips to vibrate the names of Bhagwan and is far superior to Smaran. Okay, again, Kirtan is performed simply. How Kirtan is done? Simply by using the lips, vibrating the lips, the movement of lips. Simply by that. Ears can only hear, eyes can only see, Nose can only smell, but tongue, or we can say lips, two function. One is speaking, one is eating. Two roles. Eating Krishna Prasad, and tongue is there to only speak about Krishna, glorifying Krishna. So just by using the lips to vibrate the names of Bhagwan is far superior to remembrance. Far superior. Now, there is one word, it's called Adhikar Bhed. Note this down. For our personal application, for our personal understanding. Oh. Adhikar Bhed. Adhikar Bhed means um, according to one's qualification. Adhikar Bhed, very important. Don't perform anadhikar cheshta. Anadhikar cheshta means for something which you are not qualified and you are jumping over to do any service or any other thing for which you are not qualified. If a child sees the parents, how they're walking so fast, and if the child start walking like parents, what will happen? Fall on the ground. Parents are parents. They're mature. Child is immature. So adhikara cheshta. Someone can eat 10 cookies. Another person cannot eat even 2 because different qualification. This formula is so much important in spiritual life. Very practical application, I'm telling you. Adhikar Bhed. Why this person, suppose person A, person B, person B. Why this Vaishnav A getting all facilities? Why Vaishnav B not even getting bare facilities, minimum necessities? All devotees should be treated equally. No, that's not the formula. Here comes the understanding, here comes the maturity. Oh, devotee means devotee. Everyone has to be equally. No, everyone's sickness is different. How can a patient in a hospital can be treated equally? Can you give the same injection to each and every patient? Can you give the same medicine to each and every patient? No, totally bogus. Everyone have their own sickness and have to be treated accordingly, according to their system, according to their sickness, according to how much they can hold. That's why a patient has to go through diagnosis, blood work, blood test, and accordingly the medicine is given. Different qualifications. Very important point. And most of the devotees, they get confused only to understand this point. Should be equally treated. There's no point of equality. In one sense, yes, everyone should be respected equally. That's different. But try to go to the deep point I'm trying to make here. Any devotee join the center. Center is like a hospital. Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says. Gaudiya Math is a hospital. But Gaudiya Math is not only hospital. There's difference. There's so much details in the statement. For example, once upon a time, Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj, prominent disciple of Srila Prabhupada, he was hearing from his window one brahmachari speaking Hari Katha, and is quoting one verse. In that verse, he said, is that verse? Purva Sanchita just slipped from my mind. Anyway, the meaning is one get bhakti from Purva Samskar. Purva Samskar means previous samskars. Okay, not to make you confused, just very simple words. The brahmachari speaking Hari Katha said, which is true, that's the verse. With previous samskars, one gets bhakti. So Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj, he asked that brahmachari, what do you mean by saying previous samskars? He said, Gurudev, it's obvious. Previous samskar means previous life samskaras. Then Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj corrected him, saying, so if any person have no previous life samskaras, but he develops samskaras in this lifetime, can that samskara will not help him in coming into the path of bhakti? Yes or no? He said yes. Then Srila Madhav Goswami said, we have to understand the meaning of the words in depth. That is true. We need samskaras, previous samskaras, but don't interpret it saying previous life samskaras. It can be also this life. Purva. Purva means previous. So previous can be previous life, and previous can also be in this life previously happened. So there are details of the words which are applied. So any devotee join the Math. I was saying Srila Prabhupada said Gaudiya Math is hospital, but Gaudiya Math is not only restricted to a hospital. Gaudiya Math is a kunja of Radha and Krishna, but that kunja here is acting as a system of practicing, learning, and treating different diseases. So those who coming in Math joining, they are full of anarthas, they're full of disease. And by staying in a Gaudiya Math, by staying in the hospital, one get cured of the disease and get fully recovered. That's the purpose of Gaudiya Math. That's the purpose of hospital. So everyone has their different qualifications and different diseases. We cannot say everyone is same. So we have to be very particular where we are using this word, equality. Everyone is not equal. There is difference in their adhikar. What is the difference? Adhikar. This difference is difference of adhikar. And according to difference of adhikar, one understand one same topic accordingly. Okay, glories of Harinam. Our Srila Gurudev, he will understand this topic according to his Mahabhagavat vision. We will understand in a different vision. The kids will understand from their own perspective. The same statement. Therefore, Srila Gurudev's godbrother, elder senior godbrother, Shri Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, he used to make a comment to his godbrothers. Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj was Acharya. He's acting as Guru of the society, appointed by Param Gurudev. So when any disciple, any godbrother of Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj is saying something that, oh, Param Gurudev said this, Param Gurudev said that, this and that, and Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj used to interrupt and correct. And then he used to say one statement, Tomar China Bhakti Pragyan, Amar China Bhakti Pragyan Ek Nai. That's Bengali. He used to say, your understanding of Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj and my understanding of Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj is not same. That's Adhikar Bhed. And maximum devotees, they get confused in this. My understanding of Guru Maharaj, your understanding of Guru Maharaj cannot be same. My understanding of this one word of scripture, one sentence of scripture, and your understanding is different. And the understanding of Gurudev, of course, totally different. Because we perceive according to our qualification. This is called Adhikar Bhed, the difference of qualification. Oh, this center is not supplying good facility to this brahmachari. Yeah. This center is not doing good for this brahmachari or for that lady. This is how you perceive. You're not Baba, but understanding domain. We speak different language. Like one example. In the time of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, one brahmachari was fighting, literally he was fighting with the temple in charge to buy a very expensive shoe. Let's say, just for example, he was fighting for buying $1 shoe. And temple in charge saying, no, I will buy you shoe of 25 cents. And he is fighting. Why not? When Srila Prabhupada heard this, he asked, what is the matter? Why there is fight? The brahmachari complained, this temple commander is doing partiality. I saw last week he bought a shoe for so and so Prabhu for $10, and I'm only asking a shoe for $1, and he don't want to give me, and rather he want to buy a shoe of 30 cents for me. Understand the context? Why other brahmachari got shoe for $10? Why I am not getting even shoe for $1? So what if you all will see this? What will you understand? Partiality, right? So easy to see and comment. So easy. Srila Bharati Goswami used to say, जीभ हिलाने का पैसा तो लगता नहीं. Means when you move your tongue to speak something, you don't have to pay for anything. Free of cost. So just tuck, move your tongue without understanding and without adhikar. Just speak. Just speak without adhikar because you don't have to pay any tax for that. Free. And that's why whenever it's necessity, whenever there is, we just move our tongue. Srila Bharati Goswami used to say. Therefore, by proper understanding, then we have to supposed to move the tongue. Not like that. So, if we, okay, I'm asking everyone on the audience, on the screen, If we see this happening right in front of our eyes, what we'll understand? Really, temple commander is on fault because he has billed $10 shoe for this brahmachari and he's crying for $1. That's not correct. Everyone should be seeing equally, right? That can be our understanding, our qualification to understand. Srila Prabhupada said, no, what temple commander is doing is 100% correct. Why? What is his perspective? This brahmachari who's fighting for $1 shoe, he came from such poor family, such poor family. They were not even getting one meal a day, and they have to beg for one meal a day. He has never even thought in his life, not even a dream, that he will buy $1 shoe throughout his life. He was barefoot, so poor. So for this person, buying $1 shoe is his sense enjoyment. That's his sense enjoyment. Whereas the other brahmachari who easily got $10 shoe from the temple commander, temple in charge, he came from such rich landlord family that when he was in his home, he used to give donation. $10 shoe he used to donate to poor people. He was that rich. Whenever seeing any poor person, he used to, buying hundreds of those shoes and distributing to them. So for him, getting $10 shoe is his renunciation. Try to catch the point. For him, devotee B, who got $10 shoe, for him, wearing this $10 shoe is his renunciation. But devotee A, who is fighting for $1 shoe, this is his sense gratification. It's not the matter of partiality. It's the matter of adhikar bhed, difference of qualification. Understand the point? That's difference qualification. Similarly, we have different qualifications, and that's according to our samskars of understanding the shastras, understanding the dealings. So there is nothing to get confused with that. We need to enhance our qualification. Understand? And many times I gave this example. When I was student, I used to come with my another friends to see Srila Gurudev. I was still a college student. So right in front of me, one devotee handed over a sweet box to Gurudev. And Gurudev opened that box and started distributing and saying, this is prasad. My friend got confused. Oh, he didn't put tulasi, he didn't ring bell, he didn't chant mantras. How this can be prasad? He got doubt, he got confusion. Understand? Because of his qualification, he was not able to understand this dealing. Then he raised this question. He asked this question because he was my friend. He said, Maharaj, he didn't offer, didn't put tulasi, no deities. He just took in his hand, opened the box and distributed and said, this is prasad. Where is the offering? Okay. Then we have to make him understand the whole philosophy. When any, not many, Acharya is a surrendered soul. He offered Manas Deha Geha Jo Kichu More Arpilu Thuapade Nanda Kishore. They offered their body, their speech, their mind, the thoughts, the soul, everything is offered to Krishna. They have nothing their own. Their whole time, their whole thoughts, everything is offered to Krishna. Okay, and that's why anything comes in their hand immediately get offered because they are offered. I told this point many times. Okay, that's the system. Suppose if you make some cookies at home, so let's say 10 cookies, you offer to Radha Krishna or God Nitai. Now this become prasad. You can't offer this again. Anything offered, you can't offer again. This become prasad. And immediately somebody gave you, let's say some cake, and you keep that cake touched by those cookies which are already offered. That cake cannot be offered again. This already become offered by just by touching the offered cookies. That's the system. Anything touched by offered, become prasad. Anything touched by prasad becomes prasad. Therefore, we have to be very careful when we are serving at home. These are some details I need to tell. Srila Gurudev is surrendered. His parikar, his associate of Bhagavan, is already surrendered. Anything in contact with Gurudev is already offered. So we have to explain him from A, B, C, D, everything of the philosophy. Then he understood, oh, I thought differently. Now I came to know. So why he didn't came to know, why we know, why other person know? Different qualification to understand philosophy. So we need to enhance that qualification. And how it happens? By association. Even not by reading scriptures alone. If you think I will read this book and I will learn all the verses, then I'll become qualified. No. There are so many motivational speakers. They speak so good. And you find so many in India, they speak Bhagavad Gita. Oh. But what is the qualification? Zero, nothing. I just read Srila Bharti Goswami Maharaj book yesterday. So nice book, Volcanic Energy. I'm working on it now. We're going to come soon. So nice. Oh my God. When this audiobook will come, you should hear this again, again, again. Whenever I'm reading, I'm getting so many new things in that. And if you have that book, start reading this. Srila Bhakti Dayit Madhav Goswami Maharaj, he met a big politician, very renowned, very famous politician. And he said, the politician commented, Srila Madhav Goswami Maharaj invited him in his assembly in the center, and he made him MC, Master of Ceremony, to hold and to coordinate the ceremony. And he commented, he said, oh, I'm so impressed to see the philosophy, to hear the philosophy of Gaudiya Math. Because Srila Madhav Goswami Maharaj, he began singing Mahamantra, then he stopped. And then he spoke Hari Katha, and then in the ending, again he end the Hari Katha, end the ceremony with Mahamantra. Understand the whole scenario? So this politician, he said, oh, I'm seeing in Gaudiya Math, they are following exactly as Mahatma Gandhi, if you all know him, and if any Indians hearing this, they understand what I'm saying. The father of the nation, India, father of the nation, Gandhi, because he used to sing Ram, 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 Ram. He used to clap and sing with all his fellow members. So this politician who was following the same party, right? The same party. He said, oh, Gaudiya Mutt is also like Gandhi, politician Gandhi. But Srila Madhav Goswami Maharaj, he interrupted him, stopped him. How can you say this? You comparing Gaudiya Mutt with a politician? How? He said, because Gandhi also, he used to start his lecture with Ram Nam, the holy name of Ram. And after his speaking, he end up the lecture with Ram Nam. And Gaudiya Mutt also doing same. I just saw you doing this. Srila Madhav Goswami said, no, this is your understanding. Because you don't have the clear vision. You don't know. And then he started saying, Srila Madhav Goswami said, I remember Gandhi, he commented this one line which Gandhi said, for the sake of serving the nation, I can sacrifice Ram Nam. Try to understand what I'm saying. Gandhi was always chanting Ram, 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 Ram. Even when he died, he got shot and he died. And the last words came out from his mouth was Ram, Ram. That doesn't make him devotee. He's politician. I mean, he has done so much for country. That's a different perspective. What we are trying to understand from a different angle now. He done so much for the country, no doubt. Father of the nation, no doubt. But his statement was, I can sacrifice chanting Ram for the sake of my country. Srila Madhav Goswami Maharaj said, that's the difference. What he said. And Gaudiya Mutt said, what is the philosophy of Gaudiya Mutt? For the sake of Krishna Nam, chanting Krishna Nam, what to speak of sacrificing one country, we can sacrifice the whole world. So you can't compare Gaudiya Mutt with politician. He said, for the sake of country, I can sacrifice Harinam, Ram Nam. Gaudiya Mutt say, for the sake of Krishna Nam, can sacrifice the whole world. So, just give you one example, which I was reading yesterday. Different qualifications to understand. That's why every day I'm just saying one thing: be mature, be mature, be mature. Maturity makes difference of perceiving the words of Shastras. So one person can take Harinam, chanting Harinam to be just only a media to get rid of sin. That's all. This is that person's qualification. Only this much. I'm chanting because to get rid of my sins. Another person can perceive Harinam as what? The best sadhan. In Navida Bhakti, the best sadhan is Harinam. Other person can see differently. Other person can see differently. Different perceptions. But Mahabhagat perceive Harinam as personified Radha and Krishna. Rupa Goswami Pad says, Tunde Tandan Vatani Tunde Tandan Rati Vitunate Tundavali Labdai. When I chant this Harinam and this holy name dance on the tip of my tongue, means Krishna is dancing on the tip of my tongue. I desire to have 1,000 tongues to relish the sweetness of Harinam. To relish the sweetness of Harinam. They are relishing the sweetness. And for us, Harinam is so bitter. Gurudev is tasting the sweetness of Harinam. We are tasting Rasgulla as more sweet than Harinam. We taking any sweet more sweet than Harinam. Any sweets, Rasgulla, Halwa, cake more sweet than Harinam. That's our understanding. Therefore, one thing Srila Bharati Maharaj Ji always used to tell us, uh, Adhikar Bhed, differentiation of qualifications. Another is Anadhikar Cheshta, very practical application, implication I'm telling you. Never do Anadhikar Cheshta. Anadhikar Cheshta means if you are not qualified for something, don't try to jump over to that qualification. The qualification itself comes to you, seeing your dedication, seeing your dedication to your Gurudev, seeing your love to your Gurudev, you will be imparted with that qualification to perceive, to understand things. Otherwise, confusing. Otherwise, confusing. Many people reading Ramayana, day and night Ramayana, oh my god, totally into Ram Leela. But they don't know anything about Ram Leela. We come across many people like this. They don't want to hear any other thing. Only Ram, 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 Ram. That's good. No problem. They're worshipping Ram with their life and soul, but not understanding. When they hear this topic, how Lakshman, very interesting, listen. Lakshman, Ram told Lakshman, take care of Sita. I'm going to get this golden deer because Sita is asking for this again and again. Even I'm telling Sita, no, don't ask for this. But she wants this. Lakshman, always stay here. Never leave Sita alone. That's my instruction and order to you. Bhagwan Ram gave this order. And he went. And that golden deer was demon Marich. He disguised as golden deer and he took Ram far distance. And then voice of Ram called out, Lakshman. Sita Devi heard this. All this is the plan of Ravan. He wanted Ram and Lakshman to go far and can Sita Devi became so danger. Just heard, you heard. Is it okay? Can you hear me? Okay. So some connection problem happened. Acha, anyway. So Sita Devi told Lakshman, go and help your brother Ram. He's in danger. But Lakshman said, no. Brother Ram ordered me to protect you, to guard you, because this is forest. Many demons stay here. I can't go. Then Sita Devi, she abused Lakshman. Oh, Lakshman, I know. Now I understood. Hmm. Now I understood why you don't want to go to Ram. Your ill intentions, your bad intentions, I came to know now. You want that your brother Ram should be killed in the forest. And finding me alone here, you want to enjoy me? Lakshman cannot tolerate these words. It was so heavy on him. What you saying? Huh? I always taking you as my mother. And you saying so harsh words to me? Can't even think of this. What you saying? Lakshman was shocked. Huh? But Sita Devi said this. Lakshman, you want to enjoy me. That's why you're not going to help your brother Ram. You want him to be get killed. Then Lakshman cannot tolerate this. And therefore, first time he transgressed the order of his brother Ram. First time. And he draw one line, Lakshman Rekha, and told, don't step out of this line. And I'm going to help my brother Ram. No demon can enter in this line. No, any evil, no one can enter here. So don't step this. And then Lakshman, he ran to save Ram, and Ram saw Lakshman, what are you doing here? And he explained his brother Ram all what happened. Ram said, Lakshman, I ordered you not to leave Sita alone. Why you didn't follow my order? So you imagine what Lakshman is going through right now. Sita is speaking, Sita is saying so harsh words, and Ram chastising Lakshman. What is his position? Imagine. So those who speak and hear Ram Leela all time, they don't know the inner meaning. They only believe this externally, what they are reading, because of their qualification. Because they never ever associate with those who are actually know the meaning of entire Ram Leela. There are many hidden secrets. Externally, seeing something else. Internally is something else. It all depends on qualification. Which adhikar, which qualification you are. You perceive things accordingly. Understand? It's very important in bhakti. Very important in our practice. To achieve that qualification, that's why we beg to Gurudev, we beg to Vaishnavas. Give us qualification to understand you, Gurudev. We are just sometimes taking you very easily, casually. We're taking you, Gurudev, very casually, but you are here to help me. You're here to give me qualification for better understanding. Therefore, we beg Gurudev, we beg Krishna, we beg Harinam Prabhu. Harinam Prabhu gives us this qualification. Harinam Prabhu gives this qualification. So much to learn. And that's why chanting sincerely Harinam, one gets qualification. Adhikar. And more Adhikar goes high, more and more things get more clear. In the beginning, you see blurred, all blurred. You see from far distance, blurred. When you go near, oh, just like I was reading one, was some years back. Devotees get, people get confused. People get confused to see a Mahabhagavat. Very interesting now because this has come up. People get confused to see a Mahabhagavat, a pure devotee. How come? Because they try to imply their own understanding and impose on that Mahabhagavat. And that happens. I was with my Guru Maharaj, I was with Guru Dev and Vishila Bharati Goswami Maharaj. I see many people like this. Everyone try to impose their own understanding in the activities of pure devotees. That's fault. my understanding, because I am like that, oh, then he is also like this. So scripture says, money, name and fame, pratishtha, runs after devotee, runs after pure devotee. Mukti swai muklitanjali, even mukti, liberation with folded hands, runs after a devotee. Because mukti say, oh, mukti kahe gopal se, meri mukti bata. Even mukti, liberation want to get liberated, but only media is pure devotee. Pure devotee engage everyone in the service of Krishna. Even mukti, liberation, also want to get liberated, but mukti has no direct contact with Krishna, only through pure devotee. That's why mukti is running after pure devotee. Understand that what pure devotee will, what an ordinary person like us, what we will think, oh, this pure devotee is running after pratishtha, name and fame, because they are together. Understand what I'm going to say? Okay, one example. One pure devotee is walking, chanting, and one lady is following the pure devotee. Can be follower, anything, wants to get the food dust. So pure devotee and the lady behind pure devotee walking. What ordinary person will think? Hmm, this sannyasi, this Maharaj, this pure devotee, lady. Okay, I understand. Everything is clear. What clear nonsense? That pure devotee is not running after lady. The lady is running after pure devotee to get the food dust. But what you understanding is your perception, because your qualification is restricted only to this much. You can't see beyond that. Hmm. You can't see beyond that. So there was one verse, I'm forgetting this. I learned that verse. And Srila Gurudev lecture, I was hearing Srila Gurudev lecture. Srila Gurudev saying one very good example. He was saying, once upon a time, one sadhu, he used to stay on the bank of a river, one small cottage, humble cottage. He used to stay there and do bhajan. Just opposite to his cottage is a very big house, and one prostitute used to stay there. Every day, prostitute was getting some customer, new new customer every day. Ah. So prostitute used to see sadhu, sadhu used to see prostitute. Very interesting. Gurudev is saying this example. Both seeing each other, and what they are, when they seeing each other both, uh, what they are absorbed in whole day. Sadhu whole day is criticizing prostitute. She is so bad. She's nonsense. She's stupid. She's prostitute. Every time looking for customer. So whole day what sadhu is absorbed in, prostitute, 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 prostitute. And then prostitute, she's looking at sadhu, and whole day she's thinking, now sadhu is chanting, now sadhu is worshipping, how nicely he's meditating. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Prostitute whole day chanting, sadhu, 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 sadhu. And the sadhu whole day chanting, prostitute, prostitute, prostitute. They both died. Sadhu became prostitute, and prostitute became sadhu. Yam yam vapi smarangalam tyajyate kalevaram. Whatever we absorbed in, every time we become like that. Bharat Maharaj absorbed in thinking of deer, he became deer. So Gurudev said that sadhu was not applying his sadhutta, means his proper understanding that that's what her job and her work is. You concentrate more on your bhajan, your practice. Wait, something happened in between. Can you hear me? Yes, one call came in between. Huh? So what we get absorbed all the time, the same thing get reflect to us, come back to us. Shamrani Didi was just here few days back. We were together, and somebody was asking one question. I was hearing very attentively. A very good point she said. I really like that. She was saying, I forgot the question actually. Uh, we are not supposed to. We are not supposed to interfere in some other person business. Then the devotee said, uh, uh, excuse me if I'm 100% correct, but the devotee said, yes, if a person is wrong, no, the person is right, we should not. Didi said, no, even a person is wrong or right. And then I was there, and Didi said, is it correct, Maharaj? I said, of course. You saying yes? You're more senior to me. Yeah. Because one adopts the nature of a person to whom we get absorbed in. Therefore, what is advisable? We have to be absorbed in those who are serving Hari, Guru, Vaishnava. It is too difficult to get absorbed in Hari, Guru, Vaishnava, but we have to make attempt to develop that adhikar, that qualification, but to be careful from anadhikar cheshta. Any endeavors which is not in my qualification. If I start thinking, oh, Gurudev is doing this, Gurudev is doing that. Oh, let me also try. Oh, Gurudev is preaching. I also start preaching. And if someone will ask me a question, then I'll be sweating. Gurudev can give answer properly. I don't know. You're spoiling that preaching then if you can't able to answer. And Gurudev is qualified to give answer. Therefore, anadhikar cheshta. But just one more minute and finish. Like Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj. Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj used to say one example, which is little, he used to be very hard. Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj. He used to give an example. One lady, one small girl, 5, 6 year young girl. She saw her mother. No, she saw her neighbor. One Mataji gave birth to a child, and she's going through labor pain. She's shouting, crying. So this 6 year young girl, she saw this. She put in her mind. She came back to her home, and now it's bedtime. She want to sleep, and told her mother, "Oh, mom, I'm going to sleep. But if I give birth to a child, please wake me up. I want to see. If I'm giving birth to a child, please wake me up. I don't want to just sleep and give birth to a child." You understand? And mom, her mother laughed. Say, you are baby. When you will give birth to a child, You will wake everyone up with your screaming. You will be in so much pain, you will wake everyone up. What is the point of you will be keep sleeping? So Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj used to give this example. So what this child is trying to do, this girl, small baby, anadhikar cheshta. She is not qualified to become a mother, to give a birth to a child. But what she is saying is anadhikar cheshta. Not qualified, but she thinks I'm qualified because childish. He's childish. Hmm. This is very important to know for all of us. Never do anadhikar cheshta, otherwise there is langanam, transgressions of etiquettes. And then this obstruct our pure chanting. Even though chanting is the best atonement, but it obstruct our progress in bhakti. One don't feel any taste in chanting. One don't feel any liking or any mood to chant because of this. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. I think time is over.